Alright, so we have the table saw sled all laid out. I know where I want to run all of my T-tracks. I've already set the depth on my router. I have my T-track bit inside of the router. I have the proper depth set with my depth stop so I can get the results that I want as far as my T-track. I actually went a little bit lower than this setting here to get it more centered, so I have more meat on the top, but I tested it with my various clamps. It holds down plenty strong, and it's not going to, this is me pressing down on those tongues, and I can't break them, that easily with my fingers. So they better get like another 1/16 to an 1/8 inch thicker. That'd be plenty strong for holding stuff down on the table saw sled. I have my line laid out across the back to make sure I don't route too far to where my fence is going to go. And how I'm going to set this up is I'm going to use a sacrificial strip. I have a spacer strip. Where did I put it? This offsets the center of my router. So if I sit this here right on top of my line, bring this board over, I can clamp that, and then my fence is going to go way back here, so I'm not too hurt about a screw hole back here. And this is roughly, I think to the center of my router bit, it's like 2 13/16, give or take. This is about it. And that's pretty darn close to center. Looking at my lines here, the router has those circular cutouts, and that's about darn center. So we'll get started with the routing process, and then we're going to rinse and repeat for all of my T-track locations going across the top or across the table saw sled. Crap. I did forget one thing. I wasn't supposed to go all the way past this line back there. I would call that a whoopsie. And I won't do on the rest of them. It doesn't really matter, because when I screw in my fence, I still will have plenty of solid area to screw into. I just didn't want to route all the way through. Doesn't really hurt nothing, but my mistake. We'll try to do on the rest of these. So, funny story, I'm actually using the improper bit. This bit is actually meant for routing, I guess, the slots for like a display case or display panel. It's almost like a pegboard system. The size of this slot is extremely large, and these 5/16 bolts that came with my PowerTech clamps, they spin freely inside of this. If I give it a little bit of upward pressure as I tighten my knobs, they're able to clamp down just fine. But what I should have done is actually switched over to 1/4-20 T-track bolts, and they would have worked just fine with my other 1/4 inch T-slot bit. Didn't know that until afterwards. Hindsight is definitely 2020. I'm debating on making a new Crosscut Sled that's exactly like these, because there's one other feature that you guys will see in the next video, or the video after that, I believe, that I missed putting into this one. So because of the T-slots and because of the missed feature, I probably will be building 2 more Crosscut Sleds. Let me know down in the comments if you guys really want to see me build 2 more. If you guys definitely want to see it, I'll do it. But let me know down below, and I'll catch up to you guys once we get past all the routing process. And just like that, we have all the T-tracks. Let me loosen this. We have the T-tracks and our table saw sleds routed. And one benefit of routing your own T-track, instead of removing wood and adding metal in there, I'm just removing wood. That's one thing that actually just makes the whole entire sled itself lighter. And I'm playing around with the idea, especially on this bigger one. I think since I have such large spaces in between each one of the T-tracks, maybe take like a 2-inch hole saw and just kind of hollow out maybe like 3 holes in each one of these spots. Because again, you know, make sure there's enough flat space in there. But once the board gets longer than 6 inches, you know, if it's a big hollow space but then resting on wood, it wouldn't really matter as long as it's supported, you know, somewhere out in here. It's not gonna be able to flop, is what I'm saying. So I can remove more wood in here, and just to reduce weight, it's not gonna hurt anything, I don't think. So that's gonna be my method to drop a few lbs on the big sled. Probably won't do it on this one because I think this one's already light enough. It's like perfect size for my table saw. So this will do most of my cross cutting, and I think with the fences in place, I bet a cross cut boards up to 16 inches. Be a little tight. 15 inches I'll say would be safe. Won't be able to get any clamps on it though. As long as if it's less than like 10, I can throw clamps on it. I'll probably get clamps on like a 12-inch board, give or take. But if I need to cross cut anything wider up to 2 foot, that's where that one will come in. But the next thing I need to do is set up the router table, and that's going to be for the fences. I'm not going to use this large 5/16 router bit for the stop blocks in the fence. I'm going to use my 1/4-inch bit, and that'll be used for my small stop block 1/4-inch hex head bolts. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Yeah. So let me set that up, and then we'll continue on. Alright, so now that we have the router table set up, the things that I need to do is set up to, I can only route from this direction, so I'm going to have to route all the way through the fence, unfortunately. I was planning to stop the routing right here. I guess I could do a plunge cut and keep going. I might do that. It doesn't really matter if the T-track again runs all the way through here. It just, I guess it will allow me to bring the stop block as close as I can to the fence so it doesn't hurt at all. Yeah, I might just run it all the way through. So let me determine where I want this. This fence is 2 1/4. This bit head overall is a 1/2 inch. So the center of it's a 1/4 down. So if I come down, at least like 5/8. Let's see. So about 1.5 inches is where I want the center. With the router table and the fence all set up, The last thing we have to do is make these passes. One thing that I probably should have done is set this up on the other side of my bed so I can actually use my Festool dust extractor for my undermount dust collection, just to help this passes go a lot easier. One, for the bit, there's not as much sawdust in the kerf, and that helps keep the bit cooler, which helps it cut smoother and cut longer. Probably should have done it, but I was just trying to make these passes. I think I probably had a bunch of stuff on the other side of the bench and just didn't want to move it. But besides that, we're going to take these last few passes. In the next video, we're going to delve into actually putting everything together, attaching the runners, putting the fence on, how to get the fence square, and go through that whole entire process. And hopefully you guys stick around for that. If you guys have enjoyed, smash that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe. If you guys have enjoyed, check out these other 2 videos. See you guys in the next one. Peace.